Overcoming negative self-talk. So all of us have a voice in our heads, especially, I believe, especially Black people. We have a voice in our heads telling us, we can't do this, this is not for you, do something smaller, set your goals lower, that kind of thing. So I want us to talk about how do we overcome this negativity that is in us. It follows us around. It keeps us being smaller than we can be. It keeps us with my favorite way of dealing with negative self-talk is procrastination. I just put it off. There's something in me that believes that I probably could do it, but as long as I put it off, I don't have to prove myself right or wrong. I haven't tried, or I haven't tried well, or I give myself an out by not doing it at all. But negative self-talk shows up in different people different ways. It's all the same thing. It is something that is not a part of the genuine us, the ultimate us, the universal us, but it is a part of us because it's been inserted in our minds and it follows us around. One of the ways it's been inserted in our minds is through structural, systemic racism. When I was, in my 30s, my 30s. When I was in my 30s, a really good friend of mine who was from Washington State told me that she had never seen a Black person on a pleasure boat. She wasn't talking about cruise ships. She was talking about pleasure boats, boats that people rent or buy to go out for the weekend or the day or whatever, and they do boat things and they come back. And when she said that to me, I was like, what does that mean? I mean, it certainly doesn't mean that we can't do pleasure boating. Or does it? But it stuck with me. Black people on boats. There's a lot of jokes there, right? The swimming thing, the last time you guys put us on a boat, you enslaved us for 400 years, lots of jokes, right? But the truth is that hearing her say that she hadn't seen Black people on pleasure boats made me nod in agreement. I hadn't either. Now, when I was in my 30s, that was almost 30 years ago, so I've certainly seen it since then. But at the time, it just seemed like something that wasn't for us. It wasn't something that we should even aspire to, right? That's really what was being said, this is not for you guys, it's for us, whatever. That's what I mean by structural systemic racism, is that this was a person who truly was not trying to be racist. She was just trying to say that she had never seen this, and she was a person who spent a lot of time on pleasure boats. Her family owned a couple of them. So she was just saying, as in passing, that this is something that she had never seen. So it left me with a question of, what does that say about me? What does that say about us as a people? And the answer to that is, it says nothing about me or us as a people. But to get there, I had to go into living in a Buddhist monastery for over 10 years, et cetera, to understand that what she said was not about me or us or even our country, really. It was about her and what she had experienced. It really was. And it was obvious that it was about her because she said she had never seen it. A lot of times it's not so obvious. A lot of times people say things to you to make you stop aspiring. And they don't take on the responsibility that it's because of, in my experience, you guys aren't good at that. A lot of times they just say you guys aren't good at that. You guys aren't good at academics. So we have to overcome these kinds of thoughts. We have to overcome these kinds of words that are said to us to stop us from aspiring, from doing the things that we should be doing to have the life that we want. Two things. One, everything can be figured out. And two, there is no people on earth who is better at navigating difficult situations than us. So if you are wondering if you should do something because you're wondering if you can do something, the can has already been answered. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Very few things that you cannot do. So the answer to that question is yes. Now, should you do it? To me, if it's positive and it falls under non-harming and doesn't hurt anybody else, do it. We've got a lot of time on our hands these days. Go out and do something. Do something that you never imagined you would have done a year ago. Do something that's always been in the back of your head or in the bottom of your heart that you always wanted to do, but were afraid to do. Do not let this negative self-talk stop you from doing the things you want to do. Just don't. Because I'm going to be on your side regardless of what you do. But the honest to God truth is that when you succeed, we all do better. My teacher used to put it this way, that when you do something, three people are affected by that. One, there's the person you do it for. So if you're giving somebody a gift, then there's the person you give the gift to, right? Then there's you, right, the giver. And then there's the witness, the third person. Regardless if they're there now at the time of the giving or if they just hear about it later, there's always a witness, a third person who eventually gets to experience that too. So when you succeed, you're helping you. You're helping the person that you directly affect through your success, and the witness. And the witness will always be some black little child who didn't think that they could do it until they saw you do it. We do it for others. We do it for these children who, without us doing it, would never be able to imagine that it can be done. Get on a pleasure boat. Drive a NASCAR. Open a winery. Become the world's greatest golfer. Go win the America's Cup. Whatever it is, you can do it. I know you can. There's no doubt in my mind. And if I can help you, let me know. Thanks for listening. Overcome negative self-talk. Everything's figure-outable.